Tonight, when the sun goes down, you'll flip a switch without even thinking about it. A small movement of your finger, and instantly the darkness disappears. The room floods with light so effortlessly that it feels natural. But for almost all of human existence, that moment would have seemed like magic. For more than 99.9% of human history, there was no switch, no glowing cities, no streetlights stretching across highways, no blue light leaking from phones at 2 a.m. When the sun vanished, the world became truly dark. Not the soft darkness modern people know. Real darkness, the kind where forests became invisible walls, where mountains disappeared into blackness, where you could hold your hand inches from your face and still not see it. Modern humans barely understand what night once felt like. For nearly 300,000 years, every ancestor you have ever had spent almost half of their existence surrounded by darkness. Most of them never saw a candle, only fire, the moon, the stars above them, and whatever faint glow survived through the night. That ancient darkness shaped human psychology far more than modern civilization ever did. It shaped religion, mythology, sleep, fear, love, even the way humans learned to think. And strangely enough, the story of civilization itself may have begun not in daylight, but in the flickering edge of a campfire, because fire changed everything. The earliest strong evidence of controlled fire was discovered inside Wonderwork Cave, dating back nearly 1 million years. Burned bones, ash deep inside the cave. Signs that early humans were not merely watching natural fires anymore, they were controlling them. And that single discovery altered the future of the human species. Before fire, humans lived almost exactly like other primates. When darkness came, activity stopped. You climbed a tree, found shelter, stayed silent, because night belonged to predators. Human eyes are terrible in darkness compared to nocturnal hunters. Leopards don't just see better at night. They possess a reflective layer behind their retinas that amplifies even the faintest moonlight. To a leopard, a moonlit night looks like a murky afternoon. To early humans, it was a void. Hyenas hear movement across astonishing distances. Wolves coordinate silently in darkness humans could barely navigate. To an early human walking alone at night, the dark was not peaceful. It was biological terror. Even today, anthropologists studying hunter-gatherer groups found that people who moved too far from campfires at night faced dramatically higher risks from predators. The fire created something humanity had never possessed before, a protected circle in the darkness. Inside the firelight, predators hesitated. Outside it, uncertainty waited. But here is what most people miss. That 10-foot circle of firelight was not just protection. It was the very first piece of manufactured environment in human history. The first time we didn't just survive the world, we reshaped it. But the true revolution of fire was not warmth, it was time. Before controlled fire, the useful human day ended at sunset, maybe 12 hours during summer, sometimes far less during winter. Then suddenly, fire extended human life by several extra waking hours every single night. 2 hours, sometimes 4. Over thousands of generations, those additional hours accumulated into something enormous, because humans finally had time to do something beyond survival. And that may be where civilization truly began. In 2014, anthropologist Polly Wiesner published one of the most fascinating studies about human nighttime behavior. After years living among the Juhuansi Bushmen in the Kalahari Desert, one of the last societies still living close to humanity's ancient lifestyle, what she discovered was extraordinary. Daytime conversations were overwhelmingly practical. Who would hunt? Where water could be found? Which plants were edible? How to survive tomorrow? It was the CEO phase of the day. Pure logistics, pure survival. But after sunset, around the fire, human conversation transformed completely. People began telling stories, myths, dreams, memories. They joked, sang, talked about distant people and imaginary worlds. Nearly 80% of nighttime conversation became storytelling, ritual, teaching, or social bonding. And this matters more than most people realize, because storytelling is not entertainment alone. Stories teach morality. They preserve history. They create identity. Firelight even changes the human face. It softens features, creates warmth, draws eyes together. A group of people sitting around a fire doesn't just share warmth. They become a single unit. We didn't just cook our meat over the fire. We cooked our culture. The campfire became humanity's first university, its first theater, its first religion, its first political system. Long before books existed, human civilization survived because stories moved from one mind to another through firelit nights. And there is another detail modern humans almost never consider. For ancient people, the night sky itself was overwhelming. Today, most humans live under severe light pollution. In many cities, people can barely see 20 stars, but ancient humans looked upward and saw thousands. The Milky Way was not rare. It stretched across the sky every clear night like a glowing river. In 1994, a massive earthquake knocked out all power in Los Angeles. Emergency centers were flooded with calls. People weren't reporting gas leaks or injuries. They were terrified of a giant, silvery cloud hovering over the city. It was the Milky Way, the galaxy their own ancestors had watched every single night for 300,000 years, and modern Angelenos had never seen it once in their lives. For 99% of human history, the stars were not a destination. They were the ceiling of the world. The sheer scale of the cosmos was a nightly reminder of human smallness, of mystery, of something larger than tomorrow's hunt. By curing the darkness, we didn't just lose the stars. We lost the perspective that came with them. But while the fire changed human culture, darkness itself was reshaping the human brain in another forgotten way. Modern people assume sleep has always looked the same. Lie down, sleep 8 hours continuously, wake up. But history says otherwise. In 2001, historian Roger E. Kirch published groundbreaking research after examining centuries of diaries, medical records, court documents, literature, and personal letters. He found over 500 references to something modern society had almost completely forgotten: first sleep and second sleep. For thousands of years, humans commonly slept in two separate phases. People went to sleep shortly after sunset, slept for roughly 4 hours, then naturally woke up in the middle of the night for 1 or 2 peaceful hours, then slept again until dawn. This was not insomnia, it was normal human biology. Ancient texts describe people praying during this period, talking quietly with their partners, reflecting on dreams. Some medieval medical writers described this midnight wakefulness as the ideal moment for contemplation, because the mind felt unusually calm, detached from the anxieties of the day. They even had a name for it: the watch. Then science accidentally rediscovered it. In the 1990s, psychiatrist Thomas Ware conducted an extraordinary experiment at the National Institute of Mental Health. He removed artificial light completely from volunteers' lives, giving them 14 hours of darkness every night for an entire month, conditions surprisingly close to what pre-industrial humans experienced. Within weeks, every single participant developed the same ancient sleep rhythm. Nobody taught them this pattern. Their brains simply returned to it naturally. And the most fascinating part came during those midnight waking hours. Ware discovered participants entered an unusually peaceful neurological state. Their brains produced massive surges of prolactin, a hormone associated with calmness, deep meditation, and emotional stillness. In modern life, we only see these levels during nursing or extended meditation retreats. People describe the experience as deeply reflective, almost spiritual, not fully awake, not fully asleep, a strange bridge between the conscious and the subconscious, where creativity and reflection peak. For most of human history, humans experience this mental state almost every single night. Now it has nearly disappeared. Everything changed when cities began conquering darkness. In the 1600s, places like Paris and London started installing organized street lighting, then oil lamps, gas lamps, factories, industrial schedules, and finally, in 1879, Thomas Edison commercialized the electric light bulb. Humanity's ancient relationship with darkness collapsed within a few generations. The word curfew comes from the French couvre-feu, literally, cover the fire. In medieval Europe, bells rang at night, reminding people to extinguish flames before sleep. Because darkness was expected, night was supposed to remain dark. Now we fill streets, buildings, bedrooms, and entire skies with artificial light, and we called it progress. But evolution does not adapt in a few centuries. Your brain still carries biology shaped across hundreds of thousands of years. Modern humans are exposed to artificial light for 7 to 8 hours after sunset every day, especially blue light from phones and screens. Light that mimics the short wavelengths of a high noon sun. Your brain still interprets bright midnight light as a kind of artificial sunrise. This suppresses melatonin production and quietly dismantles the circadian rhythm your ancestors spent 300,000 years building. When you wake up at 2 a.m. feeling restless, you probably reach for your phone. But what if nothing is wrong? What if your body is simply trying to begin the watch? That ancient period of quiet reflection your ancestors experienced every single night, and that modern civilization has relabeled as insomnia? Researchers discovered something remarkable. People who spend just 1 week camping without artificial light often reset their biological clocks almost entirely. Melatonin returns close to sunset. Sleep deepens naturally. Circadian rhythms stabilize. Only 1 week. That is how ancient the human relationship with darkness still is. Maybe the greatest thing we lost was not sleep quality. Maybe we lost silence itself. Ancient nights forced humans inward. No endless scrolling, no notifications, no glowing advertisements. Only darkness, firelight, stars, and thought. And during those quiet hours of the watch, humans reflected on things modern civilization rarely permits anymore. Their fears, their dreams, their dead, their gods. the future waiting beyond sunrise. For 300,000 years, humans gathered around fires while predators moved beyond the edges of the light. Children listened to stories that would outlive entire civilizations. People stared upward at a Milky Way so bright it felt close enough to touch. And in the profound darkness between sunset and dawn, humanity slowly became human. Then we invented the light switch. And almost overnight, the oldest environment our species ever knew disappeared forever. Next time you wake in the dead of night, don't reach for the light. Sit in the dark for a moment. Your ancestors have been waiting for you there for 300,000 years.